I'm sorry, Amanda. I just wanted to know what it felt like to be you. I watched my sister being led away in handcuffs, feeling a complex mix of emotions: anger, pity, grief, relief. 5 years of undercover work had finally brought justice for our parents, but the price had been higher than I'd imagined. Later that evening, I sat in my old office, truly mine again, looking through family photos. Sarah came in, holding 2 cups of coffee. "All the arrests are complete," she reported. "The entire organization is being dismantled. Your parents' killers will face justice." I nodded, picking up a photo of Lisa and me as children, smiling, arms around each other. "What about Lisa?" "She's cooperating. Her testimony will help ensure everyone involved pays for their crimes." Sarah paused. "Including herself. She'll go to prison." "Yes, but her cooperation will be taken into consideration at sentencing." I set the photo down, thinking about choices and consequences. You know what the hardest part is? Understanding how she could do this. Not just stealing my identity, but working with the people who killed our parents. Sarah sat down across from me. People can justify anything when they're scared and alone. She lost her parents and her sister in one night. The people who caused that loss offered her a way to feel powerful instead of vulnerable. By becoming me. By becoming who she thought you were. Strong, successful, fearless. She didn't realize that the real you was up there fighting for justice, not running away. I stood up, walking to the window. The city lights twinkled in the darkness, the same view I'd had 5 years ago when I made the decision to go undercover. "What now?" Sarah asked. "Now I rebuild," I said. "The company, my life, maybe even, eventually, my relationship with Lisa. She's still my sister, despite everything." "That's very forgiving of you." I turned back to her. "Not forgiveness. Not yet. But understanding, maybe. We both lost our parents that night, and we both chose different paths to deal with that loss. I chose justice. She chose survival. The wrong kind of survival, but still." "You could walk away," Sarah pointed out. "Let her face the consequences of her choices without looking back." I shook my head. "That's what I did last time, even if it was for the right reasons. Running away, letting her think I was dead, it helped create this situation. This time I need to stay, face the mess, help her find a better path if I can." Sarah smiled. "You're a better person than most would be in this situation." "No," I said, picking up the family photo again. "Just someone who finally understands that sometimes the hardest choices aren't between right and wrong, but between different kinds of pain." Over the next few months, life settled into a new rhythm. I testified at multiple trials, watching as the organization that killed my parents was systematically dismantled. Lisa's cooperation proved invaluable, leading to even more arrests. I visited her in prison regularly. Our conversations were difficult at first, full of accusations and explanations. But gradually we began to rebuild something. Not the close relationship we had as children, but something new, tempered by understanding and hard truths. "I used to dream about you coming back," she told me during one visit. "But in my dreams, you came back to find me still being Lisa, still being the sister you left behind. Instead, he found this." "We can't go back," I said. "But we can go forward. When you get out, there will be a place for you. Not as me, but as yourself." She smiled sadly. "I'm not sure I remember how to be myself anymore." "Then we'll figure it out together." 1 year after the courtroom revelation, I stood in the cemetery at our parents' grave. The case was finally closed, all the perpetrators sentenced, justice served. But closure, I was learning, didn't mean an end to grief or complexity. Lisa would be in prison for several more years. The company was thriving under my leadership. Life had moved on, as it always does. But the past was always there, teaching its harsh lessons about choices and consequences, about the fine line between protection and abandonment, between justice and revenge. "Have you seen the comments?" she asked when I picked up. "People are asking how she manages to be such an involved mom while running her company. She's literally taking credit for raising your kids." "I know," I said, gripping my phone tighter. I placed flowers on the grave, thinking about family and forgiveness, about the choices we make in moments of fear and pain, about sisters who lose their way and find it again, about the long road back from betrayal. "I did it, Mom and Dad," I whispered. "I found the truth. And maybe, in time, I'll find a way to help Lisa find her truth too. And I'm done letting her get away with it. That evening, after the kids were in bed, I sat at my kitchen table with my laptop open to my carefully organized evidence folder. 3 years of documentation, screenshots, videos, dated photos proving the kids were with me during moments she claimed as her own. I'd also discovered something else during my research. Amanda's company wasn't doing as well as she claimed. The marketing firm she ran was struggling, propped up mainly by the income from her parenting influencer career, a career built entirely on my children. "What are you going to do?" Kate asked when I called to update her. "First, I'm going to talk to a lawyer," I said. "Then I'm going to give Amanda one chance to come clean." The next morning, I met with Sarah Chen, a lawyer specializing in social media and intellectual property rights. "This is unprecedented," Sarah said, reviewing my evidence. "She's effectively created a false identity using your children as props. The sponsorship deals alone could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars." "Can we stop her?" Sarah nodded slowly. "We can do more than stop her. We can force her to return every penny she's earned using your children's images. Plus, there could be significant damages for misappropriation of their likeness." I thought about Amanda's followers, all those parents taking advice from someone who'd never actually raised a child. I want her to tell the truth. Her followers deserve to know they've been lied to. That could destroy her career, Sarah warned. She destroyed her own career the moment she decided to use my children to build it. As if on cue, my phone buzzed with a text from Amanda. "Coming over Sunday as usual. Have a fun craft planned for the kids." I showed the message to Sarah. She has no idea I know everything. "Perfect," Sarah said, pulling out some papers. "Let's make sure we have everything in order before you confront her." The next few days were a blur of legal preparations and evidence organizing. I told Tom what I was planning, showing him the full scope of his sister's deception. He was stunned. "All this time," he asked, scrolling through the documentation, "she's been profiting from our kids?" "Not just profiting," I said. "She's been living a complete lie, and it needs to stop." Sunday arrived bright and clear. Amanda showed up at our door at her usual time, carrying bags of craft supplies and her ever-present phone. "Where are my favorite little artists?" she called out as she breezed into the house. "They're not your little artists," I said quietly. "They're not your anything, Amanda." She froze, turning to look at me. "What?" I gestured to the dining room table, where my laptop was open to her parentingtoday.com feature. "We need to talk about how you've been using my children to build your brand." Her smile faltered but didn't quite disappear. "Lauren, you're being dramatic. I just share our family moments." "No," I cut her off. "You share my family's moments and pretend they're yours. You've built an entire career claiming to be something you're not." I never explicitly said, "Really?" I opened my laptop and started playing a video, her latest podcast interview. Her voice filled the room. "As a working mom, I've learned that quality time with my kids is what matters most." I stopped the video. "Want to explain how they're your kids, Amanda?" The smile finally dropped from her face. "I can explain." "Yes," I said firmly. "You can, and you will. But first, you're going to sit down and listen to exactly what's going to happen next." Amanda sank into a chair, her perfectly curated confidence crumbling. "Lauren, please, my followers." "Your followers deserve the truth," I said, opening my evidence folder. "Let me show you exactly what I have." For the next hour, I laid it all out. Every false claim, every misused photo, every sponsorship deal she'd secured using my children's images. I showed her the legal documents Sarah had prepared, explaining exactly how much trouble she was in. "The companies you partnered with," I said, pulling up contracts. "They paid you to promote products using your supposed experience as a mother. That's fraud, Amanda. Criminal fraud." Her face had gone pale, her hands twisting in her lap. "I never meant for it to go this far," she whispered. "It started with just a few posts, and people assumed, and then the followers started growing, and the opportunities. And you just couldn't stop lying." I asked. "Couldn't stop pretending my children were yours. I love them like they're mine," she protested. "I've been here every week, been part of their lives." "As their aunt," I cut in. "Not their mother. I'm their mother, Amanda. I'm the one who's been here every day, not just for the Instagram-worthy moments, but for the tantrums and the sick days and the middle-of-the-night nightmares." Tom chose that moment to walk in, having heard everything from the kitchen. How could you do this, Amanda? She turned to her brother, tears welling up. Tom, please. You know how much I care about the kids. Care about them? He asked, his voice hard. You've been exploiting them, using them to make money and build your brand. Did you ever think about what this might do to them? They love me, she said weakly. Yes, they do, I agreed. Which is why we're going to handle this carefully. You have two choices. She looked up, hope flickering across her face. Option 1. You come clean. Post a full confession explaining that you've been lying to your followers. Return all the money you make from sponsorships and speaking engagements. Sign an agreement never to use Oliver and Sophie's images again. That would destroy everything I've built, she whispered. Option 2. We let our lawyer handle it. The fraud charges, the misappropriation of likeness, everything. It goes public anyway, but this time with legal consequences. Amanda stood up suddenly, pacing the room. You don't understand what this would mean. My company's struggling. The influencer income is all that's keeping it afloat. I'd lose everything. You should have thought of that before you started stealing my children's identity, I said firmly. She stopped pacing, turning to face us. What about a compromise? I could say they're my niece and nephew, keep the brand but be honest about. No, Tom interrupted. No more using them at all. It's over, Amanda. She sank back into her chair, the full weight of her situation finally hitting her. How long do I have to decide? 24 hours, I said, sliding a business card across the table. That's our lawyer's number. Either you call her tomorrow with your decision to come clean voluntarily, or she starts proceedings. And the Sunday visits? She asked in a small voice. Tom and I exchanged glances. We discussed this part extensively. That depends on how you handle this, I said carefully. If you take responsibility, show real remorse, and respect our boundaries going forward, we can slowly rebuild trust. But it will take time. After Amanda left, looking shell-shocked and defeated, Tom and I sat in silence for a while. Do you think we did the right thing? He finally asked. I pulled up her Instagram feed one last time. All those perfectly staged photos of my children, all those lies about motherhood and parenting. Yes, I said firmly. She needs to face reality, and her followers deserve to know the truth. The next 24 hours were tense. Oliver and Sophie, unaware of the drama unfolding, asked why Aunt Amanda had left so quickly without doing crafts. We made up an excuse about her not feeling well. At exactly 3 p.m. the next day, my phone buzzed with a text from Amanda. I'll do it. I'll tell the truth. What followed was a carefully orchestrated process of coming clean. With our lawyer's oversight, Amanda posted a lengthy confession on all her social media platforms. She admitted that Oliver and Sophie were her niece and nephew, not her children. She acknowledged that she had built her brand on a lie, apologized to her followers, and announced she would be returning all sponsorship money. The backlash was immediate and intense. Her followers were outraged, feeling betrayed by someone they had trusted for parenting advice. Brands demanded their money back. Speaking engagements were canceled. Her perfect parenting empire crumbled in a matter of days. But something unexpected happened too. Some followers, while disappointed by the deception, appreciated her honesty in coming clean. A few even suggested she pivot her platform to focus on her real experiences as an aunt who loved her niece and nephew. 6 months have passed since Amanda's confession. Her marketing firm didn't survive the scandal. But she's slowly rebuilding her life, this time based on truth. She scaled back her social media presence, focusing instead on actual marketing work for small businesses. Our relationship is different now. The Sunday visits haven't resumed yet. We're all still processing and healing. But she sends cards to the kids, and we send her photos occasionally with the strict understanding that they're not to be shared online. Last week, she sent me a letter. Lauren, I've been doing a lot of therapy trying to understand why I created this elaborate lie. The truth is, I was jealous, not just of your beautiful children, but of the life you've built. I convinced myself that borrowing your family for my social media wasn't hurting anyone. I was wrong. I miss Oliver and Sophie terribly, but I understand why we need this distance. I'm working on being someone worthy of being in their lives again, not as a fake mother for Instagram, but as a real aunt who respects boundaries and tells the truth. Thank you for giving me the chance to come clean on my own terms. I didn't deserve that kindness. Asterisk Amanda. I showed the letter to Tom, who read it thoughtfully. Do you think she's really changed? I think she's trying, I said. And that's a start. Yesterday, I deleted all my screenshots and documentation. I don't need them anymore. The truth is out there now, and keeping evidence of Amanda's deception won't help us move forward. Oliver asked about her this morning, wondering if Aunt Amanda would come do crafts again someday. I told him maybe when the time is right, because the truth is, she does love them. She just needed to learn how to show that love honestly, without turning it into a performance for social media. The whole experience taught me something important about social media and parenting. It's so easy to get caught up in presenting a perfect image and turning family moments into content. But real parenting happens in the messy, unfiltered moments that never make it to Instagram. The midnight comfort sessions, the proud but unphotogenic milestones, the quiet moments of connection that mean everything but photograph as nothing special. Amanda's perfect parenting empire was built on stolen moments and lies. But maybe somewhere in this mess, she's finally learning what real family means. Messy, imperfect, but true. As for me, I still take plenty of photos of my children, but I'm more thoughtful now about what I share and why. Some moments are just for us, perfect in their privacy, beautiful in their authenticity. And that's worth more than all the Instagram followers in the world.